Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Don't Gaslight Me, Jesus, a Dungeon Crawler Carl reading and rereading podcast. I'm going to take a minute to explain to you guys exactly what we're going to be doing here. My name is Data, and I have read these books multiple times now, done some listening to the audiobooks, though not all the way through on those. And so I've got a pretty good amount of experience with the 7 extant books in this series so far. My co-hosts, on the other hand, know next to nothing about the series. Therein lies the fun. So we're going to read the book a few chapters at a time and then discuss them in depth for your, hopefully, entertainment. I'm going to give them a moment to introduce themselves. Go ahead, guys.
My name is Tim. I have no real experience with this series at all. I had never heard about it at all until Data asked, "Hey, do you want to be a part of this thing and read it?" And I was like, "Dungeon Crawler Carl, I don't know who or what that is." So yeah, I'm completely fresh on this.
I am Jennifer, and I have been an avid book talker for far too long. So I originally heard about Dungeon Crawler Carl on Book Talk as being like an amazing audiobook. And I did decide to give it a try as an audiobook, but I think I might be in the minority and made it halfway through chapter 1, and I just couldn't stand the voice of the audiobook. I will say I'm extremely picky with audiobooks, though. I prefer to read an actual book as opposed to listen to it. So I have seen a tiny amount of the book before reading it this time around, but I didn't get that far in, so it barely counts. But yeah, that's me.
That's going to be sacrilege to a lot of the fandom because they love the audiobook for this. I've never seen even Dresden Files, where James Marsters from Buffy does the audio for the books. That fandom is rabid about how amazing the audiobooks are. The Dungeon Crawler Carl fandom eclipses them by a lot. So
Marsters did it. Oh, crap.
Everybody loves it. I'm sorry. I really am sorry. I wanted to love it. But it really is. I'm just really not an audiobook fan in general. I only really listen to audiobooks if I'm doing a long drive or something where I can put my complete attention on it. So that may have been really just a me problem. So don't be offended. I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm Mike. I did not ever hear of Dungeon Crawler Carl before this. I thought that this was a very maybe ass-backwards way of Data. He wrote a book, and this was his way of getting me to read it somehow. And then I discovered it is an actual book series, and I was actually really interested at that. No, that's me. I was really interested because I had never read a book cold, like not knowing a single thing of it online. So I didn't read any kind of backstory or summaries or any like reactions to it online. I'm going into this completely blind.
give us an idea, everyone, about what books you generally, what sort of books do you guys read usually? So the audience has an idea of where you're coming from.
Honestly, mostly I just read comic books. I do read prose, but more often than not, the prose that I'm reading is like from the 1700s or 1800s, as I'm reading it on Project Gutenberg on my phone. So yeah, but like more modern stuff, it tends to just be comics. I don't really read new books.
I have a ridiculously wide variety of things I read as long as they are not, real life documentaries or anything. I like to escape into books. So I have a variety of fantasy to romance to mysteries and thrillers. I really will read pretty much anything. Recently, I guess I've been reading Sanderson, so if you ask Data, I might someday finish that series because he really wants me to. I don't remember what book I'm on at the moment, but he probably does. And then I can't remember what else I've read recently, but anything pretty much in those realms.
As for me, I mostly only read exclusively erotic fan fiction or very obscure TV shows from the early 2000s. Other than that, though, usually I read like books about like actual like subjects out in the world, like like a bunch of nonfiction kind of stuff. I think the last book that I read that was prose was probably like Neuromancer, that kind of stuff. So I think I've read a bunch of sci-fi and fantasy back when I was a big reader, but yeah, this is right up my alley, I think.
So yes, audience, I brought you an interesting cross section of readers here. We're gonna.
You're gonna hate us.
Hopefully, this is going to lead to some very interesting discussion here. So, I also want to establish that this is going to be completely spoiler free for anything beyond what we're reading each week. If you're reading for the first time, you are safe to read along with us without being spoiled for anything. Obviously, they will be incapable of spoiling you, and I promise to do my best not to. So, all that said, this time
later in the book. Gotcha.
Yeah, right. Or for later in other, books in the series.
Gotcha.
That being said, we did the first 4 chapters of Dungeon Crawler Carl, the first book in the series. So let's get right into it. Welcome, crawlers, to the first floor. So yeah, we did the first 4 chapters this time, which is basically just setting the stage for us, establishing what's going on. What did you guys think of these 4 chapters?
All right. I'm going to say the hot take first, just to get it out of the way. It feels like if Twitter wrote a solo leveling show.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
I enjoyed it. Like, because it's very internet. There's very little about that doesn't scream this was created on somebody's like blog and posted. But the whole idea of the concept of the idea, I know solo leveling was also like an internet thing. It was a little like web comic before it became became an anime. So I know that there was like maybe some cross pollination around the same time. I have no idea when this book was written because again, I know nothing going into this. So, but yeah, I feel like something was in the air on the internet. Let's say 5 years ago or something, and there you go. That's my hot take right off the bat. Is it feels like Twitter wrote solo leveling.
I gotcha.
It's funny that you say that because actually this book began self-publication, I guess you would say, in 2020. So 5 years ago, like you said.
Hey.
But he originally released this book and I think the next one on a website called Royal Road, where people go to post their writing and get feedback from the community and stuff like that. And so that's where it started, was on there, and he eventually self-published through Amazon before it got picked up last year by Ace Books, a publisher who started putting out the hardbacks. But so you actually were not far off with the internet and 5 years ago and such. That's pretty funny.
It feels very internety. Like I did the same thing. Like I wrote, stuff that I posted on different like websites and stuff, just little chapters of this or whatever. So like I know the general feel of it, and that felt very inside baseball. Like you would have to know like video games and anime, and if you don't know these things, then I'm sure you can enjoy the book, but yeah, the whole thing just screamed internet to me, and I was like, okay, that's what this is.
I was getting kind of like if you mix like Tron Legacy with like Hunger Games, and then it had like the same kind of sense of humor of like the more like Gen Z, like Gen Millennial, like kind of humor.
Yeah, I'm not getting Gen Z at all. I'm getting Millennial as hell.
If it was Gen Z, the guy would be like doing all of this from his phone, I guess.
If it was Gen Z, it would be more about using psychology terms, mostly incorrectly.
Yeah. Oh.
Other than that, I like that's just the hot take right out of the box. I enjoyed the first 4 chapters. I'm interested to see where this is going. I don't know. They're like some of the stuff like reading off the descriptions of the goblins, one of them being an incel, and I was like, that's not dated yet, but it's gonna date real fast. And Also, it's just kind of just there to be like internet laugh humor. That's the kind of stuff where I'm like, this feels more millennial because it's like random. So I'm enjoying like the action. I love beating that one guy with his own pot.
That was great.
That made it. I was just like, there you go. More fighting like that, which I'm also excited for that. Like, I know I compared it to Solo Leveling already, but if this, because I don't know where any of this is going, I have no idea what kind of story this is going to be. But if this is just like a Shonen kind of like story where I watch a guy get more and more leveled up and powerful, I can't wait. He started off correctly at the lowest point you could possibly start off with. Love the cat, love the Crocs, love the no pants.
No pants. It's hard to be no pants guy. I am not familiar with Solo Leveling at all, so
Really?
no.
Very similar concept. Very similar concept.
It's fun because like Solo Leveling has an apocalypse, but it didn't end the world like this did. This straight up ended the world. There's like next to nobody left, or at least
just
yet.
like 13 million. Like
10.
like 3 million have already died, and now we're down to 10.
It's like 10 right now, and we're like 40 pages in. So the human race took a big one right on the chin.
I remember what my third thing was, where I'm like Hunger Games and whatever my second one was, and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, because in that he was like, what was he in his bathrobe or something when the world ended, and then he had to go on this like whole adventure and deal with the bureaucracy of this greater universe that he never knew he was a part of. And yeah, I get a lot of Hitchhiker's Guide like vibes off of the book.
I can see that.
It's almost like a modern retelling. Like, this is through an American, more like social media / video gaming lens that they're doing it, but it is almost like a bit of like a retelling so far, because what I'm expecting to happen is that, just like any other kind of like campaign or like D&D, or because this is very like RPG coded, he's probably going to get a party. The cat is going to start talking at some point. Like, it's going to start getting weirder. And I'm looking forward to it just getting weirder over time.
Interesting. We're already working on predictions. I like it.
Oh, sorry.
It's funny that we're kind of talking about the internet, because when I started reading it, I was thinking, I feel like I walked on the fanfiction.net, which I've spent entirely too much time in my life on, and I'm reading a fanfiction about D&D, which my level of D&D knowledge is very low. I've never really played D&D or really any RPG game. I think we did one for like a hot minute at one point, but I don't have a whole lot of experience, so it's kind of fun. And the kind of feeling of it at the beginning, and this is kind of a completely different fantasy, kind of made me feel like Legends and Lattes, and like the funness at the beginning of it. While Legends and Lattes is very cozy and not a whole lot of, plot, I think, there, but yeah, or violence. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit, I guess, but not a whole lot. But yeah, it kind of had that same kind of fun feeling, so I'm excited about that for sure. But otherwise, I think, as with any new book series, there's a whole lot of exposition going on in 4 chapters, so some of that was kind of a lot to throw at somebody in 4 chapters, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I already am excited to. I know I'm kind of, with them. Donut's going to start talking here sometime, and I'm all for it, so I kind of can't wait for that. And Mordecai was cracking me up, so obviously there's more stuff going on there, but I'm excited to kind of read more about it.
I like Legends and Lattes. Definitely way more cozy feeling than this. This is anything but cozy by the time you get into the dungeon, but yeah, I can see that.
I also enjoy a book that kind of plays with the format, like the formatting of the page as you go through it. Like, I really feel like at times, like I can kind of get the feeling of you're dealing with like a new interface and you're dealing with a new system, and there's something very familiar from a video gamer's point of view, where it's like the kind of like you're being inundated with tutorials and exposition, like she was saying, like you're inundated with like a lot of information, and that's kind of what starting any new video game is like, and starting a novel. And they've kind of integrated both of those things into each other. And even Carl at times is just like, I really don't know what's going on. I'm really trying to grasp all of this, and I know I'm going to die if I don't grasp it, but Jesus, just help me here. And it's like starting a new game where this is not my genre. This is not what I usually play. I don't know how to do this, and just it's such a great way to start his character because I'm right there with him at the beginning. I'm just like, this is not how I wanted my night to go.
I feel like anyone who's played an RPG or actually many kinds of video games would absolutely recognize the feeling of like this intro, the tutorial level. You got like even kind of the tutorial fight where they're really easy and you're learning how the different controls work basically. So yeah, it's recognizable. It's actually, speaking of books like that, this book is part of a genre that is called lit RPG, which is basically what it sounds like. It's a literary role-playing game. Like if you write out your Dungeons and Dragons campaign into a novel, that is the genre it would fall into. Although there's a related genre called like progression. Progression fantasy, I think is what you would call it, where it centers around someone that gradually is like progresses in skills, in magical ability, in whatever they're developing. It like follows a very firmly laid out like series of progressions. And obviously, if you're talking about like a video game where you go up by levels and that sort of thing, it you can tell that kind of falls into the same. So those
you
are
said like lit RPG. I thought you meant like lit, like in the like
It's
it's
lit.
so lit, yo.
sense. Yeah, it's just
Oh
so
my
lit.
god,
Right?
this book came in on Heelys and it never stops. It's so rad.
It could also mean that. Yeah, no, I'm okay with that. I don't think I've ever said lit in that sense in my life, but okay, yeah,
Or you're just not cool enough then.
I'll allow it.
Obviously.
This book is the older brother that buys you beer, yo. You're gonna love this book.
And because people may be curious, Jennifer was right. We did briefly play with some friends the Dresden Files RPG. It did not last very long. It's not
most
crunchy.
RPGs.
Well, yeah, it's the system that they use is not like crunchy enough for me. If I need more solid rules and stuff for my RPGs, but anyway,
is it like more role play than anything else?
It is. It
like
is
it's
more
not like solid rule.
Yeah, it's like it's got magical powers and stuff, and you know you're selecting classes where you're using various things, but it's a lot muddier what they can do. It's more. It's more.
So they're
like
kind of expecting the players
based.
to describe like what they're doing with the ability rather than having the ability have a set thing that it does.
In some ways, yeah. And you can probably the easiest way to see it's like you're not rolling like numbered dice to see if you're like hitting with an attack or anything. They use fudge dice, which is a 6-sided die with 2 pluses, 2 minuses, and 2 blank spots. So you roll the dice to see is it a plus sort of outcome, a minus sort of outcome, or a neutral sort of outcome. And it's supposed to all be in the storytelling of it, more so than in the technical details. And that is more difficult for me.
Gotcha. Feels like at that point it would rely more on like the players figuring out.
Yeah, the players
like,
and the game
goes.
master for sure.
Yeah.
I was doing the game master job and I'd never played it before. None of us had. So a lot of the pressure of making it all work fell on me, and I was just like, I've done several like 5e D&D games now where I DM'd, but at that time I hadn't, so it was a lot. But yeah, that's a sidetrack. Anything else, Jennifer, on your overview?
Yep, I'm just excited to kind of see where it goes.
Fair.
It's interesting that Mike and Jennifer both are like, I can't wait for the cat to start talking, and this never crossed my mind.
Okay, so if the cat doesn't start talking, like where do you see it going?
I figured it was always going to be a little asshole that he had to drag around, and that would just be the joke. Is we got an asshole cat? That's it.
Hey,
it's just a
to
cat.
me, like that would eventually like kind of how many times can you do the and then he bites some joke?
Or it just sits there and watches as he gets his ass kicked. You know, stuff like
gets
that.
his ass beat.
Yeah. There's a ton of stuff you can do with a cat.
Donut, help! Looks itself.
I feel like Donut's just already screaming mentally at everybody. Like you can just tell. He's like, "You're an idiot. and he's just
She.
staring. So look him. She, sorry, but yeah. So she's gonna have amazing things to say at some point. I'm just saying.
Yeah, when Donut was like sitting next to the fire, I was just expecting like because the tutorials are all I was expecting like because the tutorials were going off that eventually when the chat box came up, he would see that the cat has been writing in the chat the whole time.
The cat just communicates via chat.
Well,
Yeah, I
you
had
know,
the
at
same
first,
thought. I was like, something's gonna pop up.
well, at first, I thought like it was going to pop up, and it would be the joke would be, "Oh, the cat's been talking this whole time." But then you look at the chat log, and it literally just looks like a cat that's been walking across a keyboard, and he's like, "Oh, well, that's not fucking useful, is it?"
Oh, that would have
He's
been
like,
hilarious.
"No, no, you can talk."
Oh, no, that would be good. Actually, random question, because I don't know, which version of the book do you guys have? Like, what cut did you buy? Digital? I know you didn't buy
Oh, I
audio.
have
Did
a.
you have paperback or?
No, I got the hardback.
Okay, so you've got like the kind of okay,
I
the
got
solid.
the purpley black
That's
one.
You will not break me.
Yeah, when
So-
you take off the cover, it says "You will not break me" on the inside.
Yes, each one has a fun thing on the inside of that. That
Oh, they're all different. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's good because the hardcover has, and we won't do it right away, but the hardcover has after the end of the book, it has an exclusive like mini story that it's split up between all the hardcovers. He had like that was part of his publication deal with Ace Books to do the hardcover is he had to give them something that wasn't in any other version of the book that they could put in there. And it's
Oh,
called
yeah.
it's called like Backstage at the Pineapple Cabaret. And it's a whole fun thing, but we won't have to deal with that for a while. But I was going to show you guys the original covers from Amazon when it was self-published through Amazon. They're kind of more energetic. Let me put in our chat here so you guys can see what the cover of this book looks like on Amazon, so you can kind of get what I'm saying. But it gives you maybe a different idea of what's going on here.
Oh, yeah. There's the Killdozer thing. Yeah.
And so yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I kind of like the cartoony vibe of the hardcover.
I really
one.
like them, the hardcovers. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
got all 7 or all 6 currently released. I've pre-ordered the 7th hardcovers at the moment. Okay, Mike, anything that you haven't already said that you want to do as your overview?
Oh, it's, as part of the overview, I really like the groundwork that they're setting with Mordecai because we haven't really talked about like the events that have that transpired already. Because actually, a lot has happened. Like the book just starts from the beginning, and we're in the dungeon, and now we're already in the tutorial guild, and we've already started laying the groundwork for what the politics and kind of setup of this greater universe is, and how there's sinister machinations because of course there is, and there's bureaucracy, and this is very social media coded, so you got to worry about you know like patrons and viewers and all that other crap. So it's all very familiar things. Anybody who is a millennial who has watched a lot of YouTube and has done the various socials, like it's like there's actually it's all one grand conspiracy, and we're just here eating popcorn. Here. Yeah, we know. More content, please. You know they're selling your data and they're watching you. Yeah, I know. Do the thing, monkey dance. So that's been fun. That's been fun to start. Like, oh, okay. So there's gonna be some BS of higher ups that we got to deal with.
And I feel like that's where at least some of the Hunger Games vibe definitely comes in because you got like, oh, you're gonna get boxes from like patrons and they'll give you cool stuff. Okay, yeah, I've seen that.
Mhm.
That's why I'm totally expecting Carl to have to do an ad at some point. Like that's gonna be a thing he's gonna have to do. Because like because that would have been funny if that was like a parody of Hunger Games where it's like, all right, you do this, but you gotta sing their jingle. But I need the medicine. You gotta sing the jingle. Sing it. All right, fine.
And then maybe sing about fruity Odie bars. I'm just saying.
Okay, now you're gonna have that song in my head.
Sorry.
Serenity fans, you know. Now it's in all of your heads too.
We've beamed it. We've beamed it out to you.
Can't stop the signal.
You
Exactly.
can't stop the signal.
You have me thinking that it's just like the dungeon's gonna freeze as he's in the middle of fighting a monster, and he's gonna turn to some camera and be like, "In the dungeon, things can get really intense. That's why I have like deodorizing product." I'm trying to think if Carl would do that. We don't know him.
I mean,
all
if you
that
wanted to
yet.
live, I would do it. It's kind of how it's turning out for YouTubers. Like it's like YouTube if it was also being on YouTube was being in a Squid Game. You know, like
Like Mike is like, yes, I would absolutely sell any integrity I have if it meant I get to live. Why not?
Integrity?
what is this integrity? Can I spend it? Can I eat it? If not, I don't want to hear about it.
Okay, well, let's get into the actual content of these chapters that we read. I'm gonna kind of do like summarize, skim my way through, and bring up some points. You guys jump in whenever you have something you want to comment on, and if not, I will force you to.
Gotcha.
Rude.
Much as the AI.
You lay
Let's
all
see.
the ideas out onto a grid, and then you jump to a conclusion.
Let's jump to conclusions, Matt. Yeah, no, been there. The epigraph here. I don't know if you guys even read the epigraph, but it's a quote that I find kind of interesting, where it's like Rome will exist as long as the Colosseum does. When the Colosseum falls, so will Rome. Having been to Rome and the Colosseum, I can vouch that they are both currently still there. So this still
the
valid.
curse is still in place.
That doesn't sound right. Oh wait,
Let me
no,
get
it is.
on the
It is still there.
internet. Fake news.
So we start out with. Do the chapter headers have the little pictures in the? I'm reading in the digital version. I've never actually read the physical ones. I always read the digital when I'm reading. Do the
I
chapter
believe in
headers in that one
ours, it
have the
was-
little pictures?
Yeah, chapter 1 is donuts. Yeah, chapter 2 is the incel goblin.
Yeah, okay, so it has the same pictures. I like this little one of like Donut jumping to the tree. I think it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
The transformation occurred at 2:23 a.m. Pacific time. So that's we see what the transformation is, but it's a very interesting hook there to get you like, wait, what? It very quickly explains like, yeah, everybody died. Anyone who was inside with a roof over your head, down to tents and cardboard boxes, all dead instantly.
Maybe even umbrellas.
Maybe umbrellas.
Yes,
Yeah,
watch out for this. We're not
he
sure.
can't say for sure, but he didn't know anyone personally holding an umbrella at the time.
Doesn't know a lot of people, to be honest.
Well, you're not wrong.
It was a bit of a Why the Last Man kind of vibe to him. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he's from Seattle. He's in North America where it is 2:30 in the morning, which means you go the US, the mainland US is like 4 time zones. So even if you go all the way to the east end, that's still like 6:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Am I mathing that correct? So a lot of people are still in bed at this point. The entire Americas, I would say, probably got pretty fucked in this
Oh, definitely.
transformation.
Yeah. They were all asleep.
Yeah.
It's not much better during the day. A lot of people are at work or commuting.
Yep,
People,
true.
people are kind of dead.
And I know he talked about how all the homeless in the city were rounded up already, put into like the shelters and stuff. But I'm just like, yeah, but there's homeless all around the world. Like, is he just going to keep running into just like homeless people?
It's going to be nothing but people with like shopping carts and backpacks with like their dog that they have. Yeah.
Please,
hey, buddy,
I hope there's a
watch?
homeless man. Like just one homeless character who's just like, I'm going to win. I just wanted one chance. Just, oh my God. You have no idea how much I will really enjoy this series. If there's just one spunky, I gotta win no matter what homeless man.
I've been telling people for years. They've been beaming into my brain, telling me that there's going to be a game show. I'm going to win. Yeah, I want him to talk like Wario. None of you is going to win. It's going to be me.
Is that offensive to the unhoused? It might be.
That's offensive to anybody who's a fan of Wario, I guess.
Also true. Are there a lot of Wario? I know there's a lot of Waluigi fans.
Yeah, but they're fans ironically.
Somebody has to like Wario, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't be around. Somebody likes him.
Yeah, that's fair.
We need a Walla Carl.
Little Z, that's my reference to like something that like two people are going to understand. Little Z loved Wario.
Okay.
For all you Little Z fans out there.
So yes,
Dozens of us.
It is January 3rd, a Tuesday, and Seattle is like below zero, well below zero. And Carl, our main character, is outside wearing pink Crocs, wearing boxers and a leather jacket. And why is that?
That a lot of middle-aged men find themselves in this situation. It's something that inevitably happens to all of us. Age brings that moment in your life where you're walking outside, it's cold, you have no pants, you're looking for a cat, you're yelling at the cat, you want the cat to either come inside or die, at least decide.
Pick one.
Pick one. I gotta go to bed.
What are you doing out there?
Oh man.
You're waking your dead.
The fact that I was just like, oh, I hope that lady dies, and then it just happened. Like the moment I thought it.
Ouch.
I know. She did
Holy
nothing
God.
except insert herself into other people's business.
Yeah, and she also, as he said, files complaints all the time. And I would just say,
She outlived so much of the human race because her head probably was still alive for like 30 seconds.
Her carrot moment saves her for the 30 seconds. That's all. That's all.
How
Carrot.
long do you live?
she's at least in the high scores. She got to put her initials up on there. On the
She's
scoreboard.
up there. It's her and like the, what was it? 13 mil? I don't know how many survived. I don't know if that was even established, how many survived. We just know how many went into the first level. Which was
That's the funny thing
10,000.
too, because the whole surface of the planet flattened, and then I'm the idiot over here who's like, what about people who were in space? But also, what about people who were underground?
Or
I don't know.
under the water.
People that are in airplanes. I don't know why.
It actually mentions the airplanes. The airplanes got squished.
Oh, I missed it. Okay.
Yeah, he calls that out.
I missed it.
Now,
I googled
James
how long
Cameron.
does your head live after it's been chopped off?
Oh, no.
And there's a Reddit Ask Science thing that says humans have been reported to maintain consciousness for 15 to 30 seconds after their tops were cropped. The way that's phrased.
Okay.
She
Yeah,
survived
it's the
longer
internet.
than most.
Yeah, I mean, that's 15 seconds more than the last guy.
Yeah. And that's high score material. She was able to put ass as her character name.
Well, she didn't have any fingers anymore, so.
Yeah, it was a haptic
poo.
thing inside the brain. She's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She either put ass or poo, whichever she chose. Whatever
She has
her last
very
moments.
few seconds left to do this. She has to pick real quick.
Yeah.
It might just be AAA actually.
Yeah. She's like,
You have to be
can't really
fast.
think too well. Yeah.
Red Beast
Is James Cameron dead? If he's in a submarine under the water, is the top of the water, considered a ceiling? Or is the top of the submarine considered a ceiling? And he's crushed down to the bottom of the ocean. Is Cameron currently a new resident of the Titanic? Is all I need to know.
That's an
might
excellent
be.
Nah,
question.
he's dead. If planes get crushed, submarines get crushed.
He also mentioned subways got crushed. So I guess being under like a higher roof doesn't save you.
Any kind of
any
enclosed
subterranean.
space.
Yeah. So that means any mine or anybody who's underground, if you had a bunker, that's considered a roof. Even Earth above you is considered a roof.
Maybe. But Carl is outside.
Are caves? Are people in caves getting
This can go
crushed?
so far.
I think that counts.
what
I think
do we
that counts as a
consider?
roof.
Yeah.
Because I think the Earth kind of just got smoothed out.
It didn't.
The trees are
still
still
trees.
there. Yeah. And some of the other things, like the light pole was gone, but there was like some other like street signage or something.
Yeah. So it's just It's very deliberate what gets crushed. So maybe a cave. Maybe someone hid in a cave. Maybe there's a bear in the game. That'd be
There's a
fun.
bear
Oh yeah,
that just went
that
down
would be
in there.
fun. That would be fun. He runs into like an elephant for like no fucking reason.
Yeah, that's
Like-
confusing. How did that elephant get in there?
Hey, if it has an intelligence level high enough, it can participate.
You know, you're right.
Apparently.
They do like paint, so elephants are smarter than people give them credit for. So
I think pigs are supposed to be real smart. Maybe.
I would just love
No
a bunch
way
of
a
talking
pig.
animals. I would
Yeah.
love if a bunch of talking animals just showed up at one point. That'd be great.
I think when the test is like how well do they escape from like being caged up, pigs are like one of the top animals along with monkeys and apparently octopi. Octopi are like escape artists.
Oh yeah, an octopus I could see. That'd also be fun too if an
Sweet.
octopus was in like the levels.
Yeah, if we need to do a heist and he hires an octopus, there you go. But I think if there were people like in mines or caves, they could have potentially had portals open up for them. You know,
Maybe.
like if you were underground, subterranean, and it was not a man-made structure, like there could be people who were like, and then you have a miner down there with all his miner regalia and pickaxe and everything.
Mining,
Certainly better off
I
than Carl.
don't think mining. A cave I could excuse. Mining, like mine shafts, that's still man-made. That gets flattened. No question.
Okay. I would just love to have a prospector character because that's fun to me.
Prospector Pete.
I know that's totally what just popped in my head. It's like just imagining the cartoon little walking around. Yeah, that'd be great.
There's XP in them hills.
So, okay, so
that's what the millennial grad set is.
that's that. I mean, yeah.
That XP.
So back to the thing. Carl is outside trying to get his ex-girlfriend's cat, whose name is Princess Donut the Queen Anne Chunk. And as we get described in detail, she is a prize-winning cat, worth more than he makes in a year. And I feel like it sounds like he has a pretty decent job. He used to be in the he's 27 years old, used to be in the Coast Guard. Now he is a marine tech, fixing electrical systems for boats.
Pay well.
For like rich people. Yeah.
Rich assholes and their party boats. So yeah, it's got to be worth some decent money. And his girlfriend was Beatrice. And Beatrice was his girlfriend until she went to the Bahamas with her friends for, a girls' trip, and then posted a picture on her Instagram of her sitting in her ex-boyfriend's lap on this trip. And I actually respect for the way Carl deals with this as far as I'm concerned, where he's like, look, I don't like drama. I don't actually care if she was cheating or not. She'd lied about this whole thing. So I called her up and was like, hey, we're done. I'll have your stuff ready when you get back. That's it.
And he dealt with it like any responsible human being would. He just was petty as hell about it.
I don't.
He's like, no. Like he was like, I'm gonna smoke in my house. I'm gonna do whatever I want.
He stopped smoking in the house because of the cat anyway. He was like, all right, Donut, I'll just do it out the window. They're trying to make you like the guy. He's a little petty, maybe, but he's not an asshole. He's not that much of an asshole.
I mean, if it's his apartment and he stopped smoking in the apartment for his girlfriend, then I don't feel like it's petty to start smoking again once you're like, well, she's not going to live here anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
But then he has to be considerate of the cat. He's like, fine, I'll crack a window and like blow the smoke outside. And him and this cat seem to have a weird relationship where he's like, I don't like cats, but I kind of like this one. She sits in my lap while I play PlayStation, and if I kick her out, she hisses and scratches and jumps back and is like, what are you going to do about it? And he's like, yeah, okay. I respect your tenacity.
The arc of every relationship with a cat.
I mean, yeah, pretty much, right?
I mean, I think that just shows that he's actually a cat person and he doesn't know it, because that's just cats.
Correct.
And then we learned that he has like animal affinity stat.
That's probably one of the things he has.
Yeah.
There's a massive ream of stats and skills he has.
Like him getting like bitten like constantly while running and you know and going and trying to survive. I mean, that's got a level of animal handling. I mean, he handled an animal.
At least level 1.
In the technical sense, yes, he has handled that animal. I mean, I think it's actually more telling that he's like, yeah, I trained her to like jump into my arms if I had like treats or whatever. But that feels like
biting the hand.
But actually, that speaks to my like. Okay, so he opens the window to smoke. Donut jumps out the window. Decides she's going to go on an adventure for the first time in her life, and then realizes it's cold as shit out here, and gets back in the tree, but will not come back in the house or the apartment. And I'm just like, I mean, treats, dude. Just like, hey, look, I got some cat treats. That'll get her back. I guess it's lucky he didn't think of that.
It's really.
I think it's just very obvious. I feel like Donut knew. Donut knew something was going on. I mean, she never jumped out the window before until now. I'm just saying.
It's true. Maybe.
I think you're right. I think you're right, Jennifer. I think the cat somehow knew, which is why maybe we're also gonna get more animals. I'm kind of hoping for more animals in the levels.
Oh, if like
maybe
all
they
the animals
also,
maybe had a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also was woken up by a bad dream, and we never knew what that dream was.
Oh yeah, he didn't say.
I don't know if that's a thing either. Yeah.
So
It's like
his
he was alerted to something.
His boots are in the dryer in the basement of the building. So he puts on his ex-girlfriend's pink Crocs, throws on his jacket, and walks out in his underwear.
Which makes me wonder, like, why do you leave your boots downstairs? What did you wear downstairs?
Right? I had
like, you had to have some other pair of shoes, right?
Yeah, it's like the buildings too. So that's like really like petty. No, that's not the word. It's like just inconsiderate. It's really inconsiderate to everyone else who's using the machines down there. That, I just have my boots down there. It's 2:00. Who cares? I'll get them tomorrow.
I just imagine they're just going ka-chunk.
Yeah. Driving the people downstairs insane.
Oh, yes. If you were like sleeping next to that.
Maybe this is why Mrs. Parsons likes to file complaints. Like Carl's just not very.
Yeah, maybe we were kind of clued in onto a thing like an in the background kind of storyline where he's like the most inconsiderate neighbor.
There's one of the oddest lines in this chapter is where he goes out and the cat is howling like someone was eating her children in front of her, and I'm like, that's a real weird simile to just bust out. But all right,
that's internet as hell. That's stuff like that's where I'm like, this is like Twitter wrote it. Also, I don't know how old the author is, but the author's like 20.
Let's see, Matt Dinniman, how old are you? That's a fair question. Let's see.
This one.
It's gonna be hilarious if he's your age, Tim.
He might be. He does millennial, so I do millennial. I'm like Donatello.
Wow, the picture that like Google comes up with in the AI overview when I Google his to find out his age, it's like the most. It's clearly AI generated, but it looks like a mugshot. It's very strange.
Oh my god!
The future is here, and isn't it wonderful?
If you've seen this man, run.
Yeah,
was this man in your dreams last night?
It's not a great picture. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Is there any information about you, Mr. Guy? A writer and artist from Gig Harbor, Washington.
Gig Harbor, Washington.
Yeah, there's no information about his age here that I can see. Oh, he was. Wait, is this the same person? Somebody comes up on IMDb with that name, who was in the art department for the movie Ender's Game and for the series Hawaii Five-0 in 2016.
Ender's Game kind of ties in here a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, no idea if it's the same guy.
Hawaii Five-0, I don't know how that ties in at all, though, so you can put them there.
Fan fiction says yes. Same guy.
Or he literally killed the man and took his face.
Let's see.
I mean, identity.
Face, identity. Same.
Whichever.
Both,
All right, sorry. And so, yes, Mrs. Parsons leans out the window to complain about the cat screaming. And although she doesn't really complain, she's like, what is going on out here? Carl, is that you? And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I got to try to get the cat in. And she's like, it looks like you're going to freeze. And then dead.
Yeah.
All the
Slander.
buildings are gone.
Everyone's slandering this woman. She was actually a considerate human being. It's Carl who's not.
Do you know who put their boots in the dryer in the basement? No, I don't.
Shut up, you old crone. I'm the
Yeah.
hero.
I hope your head gets cut off.
That building saved me the effort.
Time to be in a real life video game.
So it says, let's see, the whole apartment building's gone. All the cars, like, there's like dirt squares where the cars used to be in the asphalt. They just got like sucked through. Everything's gone except the trees, the bikes, the bike racks, and Marjorie Williams' moped that was still booted by parking enforcement.
He really should have taken that with him.
Right? Yes. Just have something.
Something.
And so now he is out here in sub-zero temperatures with little to no clothing and a cat. And he's just like, what is going on? What am I going to do? And then he looks down and sees that since she was leaning out the window when the building got sucked into the ground, Mrs. Parsons' head is lying at his feet.
Yeah.
And that is deeply disturbing.
He gets over it really quick.
He does. He just moves on.
He's very inconsiderate.
Yeah. That's the
lot of
actual
empathy
thing
here.
we're learning.
I mean, I want to say that he establishes several times. He's like, I'm not an asshole. He's like, I do this because I'm not an asshole. I'm like, but isn't it always an asshole who's like constantly telling you how he's not an asshole?
It's the claim, yeah.
Yep.
I want to find an argument against this, but I can't yet. So then some words appear floating in front of him, not in English, but somehow he can still understand them. Surviving humans, take note. And then there's a big long, it's like per syndicate rules, subsection, blah, blah, blah. Basically, the Earth is being mined for raw materials. Every interior of your world has been crushed, and all the raw materials are in the process of being mined.
Every interior?
That's what it said.
I guess caves are gone too. I'm sorry, bears.
Per the Mined Material Reclamation Act, along with the Indigenous Planetary Species Protection Act, any surviving humans will be given the opportunity to reclaim their lost matter. The Borant Corporation, who has regency over the solar system, gets to choose the manner of the reclamation, and they've chosen option 3. I want to know what options 1 and 2 are now. The 18-level world dungeon. So
who gets to make this decision? Like, I want to know.
Yeah, that's an excellent question.
Like, who is in charge of this decision? I'm just curious.
The entire disclaimer was written by AI.
It kind of was. Because there is an AI.
The AI is the one saying this.
Yeah.
Because it says a syndicate neutral observer AI, myself, has been created and dispatched to supervise.
Yeah.
Upon successful completion of level 18 of the world dungeon, regency of this planet will revert to the successor. So if you can get through level 18, you get a planet. We find out later that it's not very likely, but...
No one's ever done it. No one's got close.
Not even close, nope.
Are you going to restore everything on the planet, or do I just get this crap hole of nothing now?
That's a really good question also, yeah.
Enjoy! You're by yourself, stranded on a planet.
It turns into a city builder at that point. You're like, oh, I can make my own version of the Earth.
It says you'll be given the opportunity to reclaim your lost matter. So that doesn't specify we'll put it back the way it was.
No.
That might just be we'll give you a wheelbarrow full of like atoms and have at it.
Although if he did try to bring people back to life and he's like, bring my neighbor back to life. She didn't deserve that. It just brings back a body without a head. He's like, I should have thought of that.
They didn't have the head in the thing, so yeah.
Oh no.
But all remaining materials estimated to be 99.999999% of the sifted matter. So I think Mordecai even says later, like, they're not mining that much stuff out of this planet.
No.
They just want a little bit, but they killed you all to get it. Yeah,
I'm curious what it is that they would want anyway. I don't know why. I just want to know what mineral is it that's that interesting.
Right?
It probably makes no sense. I probably don't need to know that for any reason, but I'm just curious.
Plastics.
It's gonna be something dumb.
The one thing killing us or something. We didn't want it anyway.
It's like yogurt. So entrances, let's see, how many entrances? 150,000 entrances are opening all around the world, and you have an hour to go in if you want a shot at going through the world dungeon.
Which means that even though he was the only one that went through his, that means that thousands had to go through like certain ones.
Yep.
For that to, yeah.
To get to 13 million going through.
Yeah.
I don't admire the game guides. Like Mordecai waits a bit, like let's see if someone else is going to show up. Like what if like 1,000 people showed up at the same time? That's going to be annoying.
Yes.
I feel like that could totally happen in those areas that were like actually awake, like people in
Right.
parks or something, like or college
Yeah.
campuses, like where you
It
have
was like
mass people outside,
lunchtime,
maybe.
and like everyone's outside. Yeah.
Everyone's watching a soccer game, and the entire stadium
Oh,
survived.
yeah. There you go.
Are you all going to be in the same party? That might be an advantage.
We're gonna
honestly.
win.
Yeah.
I mean, the likelihood of him running into an entire soccer team from Brazil, that could be
And
a
their
thing.
fans.
And their fans.
It's the whole stadium.
If you do not choose to enter the world dungeon, you will have to sustain yourself on the surface of the planet, and this may be the last communication you receive during your lifetime. And it says
Yeah,
you
you
go ahead
can't-
and mine for whatever else you want, but
Then it's a choose your own adventure on the surface, and you choose how you want to die.
So what about you guys? If the three of you are outside and this happens, are you going through the mysterious glowy staircase in the ground?
Well, his particular situation, he was going to die if he didn't go down there. I would say because of all the anime and '80s movies that I've watched, I was just like, "Oh, this is the beginning of my adventure." I mean, my adventure probably ends with me dying, but that's every adventure, really, if you live long enough. So,
True.
yeah, why not? Glowing staircase of mystery. Yeah, I'll go down there.
Yeah, I think I would just assume I'm dreaming, because why the hell would this be real?
Fair.
And then I'd be like, hey, it's quest time. Why wouldn't I want to take a quest? It's Dream. I obviously want a quest, so I'm going down.
Opposite and go, nah, I probably won't go down. If I survived, I'm fine. You guys go die for someone's amusement. I am seeding the next human planet that they're going to do it again. Because that's my suspicion. You just leave a bunch of people on the surface and you just come back a couple tens of thousands of years later. Hey, look, another civilization to do another game show on. Of course, no one on the surface knows about that. They're just over there in the Caribbean or whatever going, where's an entrance? I don't see an entrance.
Yeah, you're on like
Yeah, what happened to people on boats? Yeah.
you're on one little island and there's no entrance that pops up.
Yeah.
Because Carl talks about it later. Like 150,000 entrances scattered over the surface of the earth would be pretty rare. And he sees like at least 3 from where he's standing.
For no reason, next to each other. There's like no one in his part of the world left.
Yeah. It seems
I mean, to an
kind of
extent, it makes
intentional.
sense because it's going to target the populated areas, but I mean, that's still really close together. Because I mean, you wouldn't want one out in the middle of a cornfield in Kansas
True.
or something. That would
Yeah.
be pointless. But
And then
I would think you'd see.
And then there's like the case of you don't know what universe or genre that you're in. There's a universe where you go down those stairs, and this is actually Alien OnlyFans, and you go into Sex Dungeon, and now you're stuck. Now you're stuck there.
There are
I
other
mean-
games. We don't know
And
what
then-
those other games
It's
are,
true.
other than one is a battle royale.
Yeah.
That's true.
So there's a planet where people keep asking you for feet pics, but they can't tell what part of you is your feet. So you send them a picture of your nose, and they're like, "Oh my god, that's hot."
Get meta for a second. They would
Okay.
know what the feet is because they know all of the species.
Interesting
This-
point. Maybe,
this is
yeah.
not
That
this
is
is
an
not
interesting point.
random. They're not just finding planets. They're cultivating. They're seeding worlds with certain amounts of species. So they already know what your feet look like. They probably made you. This is the Matrix.
But you get to
that's
choose
an
another
interesting-
species later, is what we find
You
out.
do.
So.
And you can probably do fictional species too.
Yeah, I would be gelatinous cube.
You lose.
No one can beat the gelatinous cube.
You lose.
can't beat me. You can't beat me.
You
I'm
can't
cube,
move that fast
and I'm
either.
gelatinous.
And
Yeah.
you ran out of time. You didn't get down to the bottom.
I would make you carry me.
You're a gelatinous cube. You disintegrate what touches you.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't work. Yeah.
Yeah. You just lose. You lose, sir.
Good day, sir.
You should have been a Minotaur. Idiot.
Oh, idiot.
But as mentioned, Carl is kind of forced to go down, or else he will, die of exposure in the sub-zero temperatures with no clothing. And so he does.
Yeah.
He goes down the stairs on an ornate staircase carved to look like it's a fish or a demon, or I don't know. And then he finds a door that's like a fish or a demon, or I don't know. But that gives him his first tooltip. That when he looks at it, a box pops up in his face that's like, this is the Kuatine, the dominant species of the Borant system. Make sure you recognize these guys. There'll be a test later. And he's like, wait, was that a joke? Or was it serious?
I'm just imagining Gungans.
Oh, if they show up and they're like, we're gonna put you in a dungeon. I'm out. And so he figures out somehow they've gotten, like, this tech is in his head. Like, he can use his mind to, like, mentally click X and close the box and reopen the box.
Being beamed directly to him.
His first thought is, like...
He's product. This is just built-in humans. You
He's
are
like,
product to be entertainment.
Oh,
maybe I'm sleeping
right.
and this is the Matrix. And I was like, I can see why you would go there.
Yeah.
There's also another thing with Seeded World, and I'm wondering if they're also doing... If he's doing a thing where it's like a double meaning, where it's like the seed is also like the seed that's used in video games, where I'm
Minecraft seeds for your world.
Yeah, if he figures out that like the world seed, like what it is, if he's able to then predict what will happen,
It's 42. That's the seed.
Yeah, it's always 42.
Right. It's always 42. Yep. Of course, in this universe, he's like, of course it's 69. Nice.
So Donut runs through the door and he finds a hallway. It's like a tunnel, basically. And he goes in and he gets the message. Welcome, crawler. Welcome to the first floor. You have 4 days, 23 hours, and 48 minutes on this floor, essentially. And they got to find a staircase down to the next floor. And when he looks at Donut, she now has information on her also. She's Crawler 4119, Princess Donut, level 1 cat. And he has been assigned Crawler 4122. So I guess in the time that it took between Donut going in and him going in, like two other guys went in somewhere. And his crawler name is simply Carl.
I want to know what other names there are. Like, is his really just boring? Does that indicate he's boring? Are there more fun names out there? What's Donut's name?
Her name is Princess Donut, it says.
It's still Donut, though? I was trying to remember. I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but...
Yeah, her name that pops up is Princess Donut. It doesn't go for her whole name of Princess Donut, the Queen Anne Chonk, but it's still Princess Donut.
Well, you ran out of characters, so you had to
maybe.
That's true.
Get a shortened.
That took up like the entire screen.
Maybe Princess Chonk will be a title that you can unlock later.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
And then he gets a series of achievements. Crazy Cat Lady for entering the world dungeon with a cat. Trailblazing Crazy Cat Lady for being the first crawler to come in with a cat. You must really love that thing. Too bad you're both probably going to die a horrible death at any moment. Or maybe not.
What?
I will say the achievements are amazing. I love them all.
They are all fun. Early adopter, one of the first 5,000 crawlers, sucker. He gets one for coming into the dungeon with no supplies whatsoever. And then the why aren't you wearing pants achievement. You entered the dungeon wearing no pants, dude? Seriously?
Maybe that's to his benefit later when he has an audience.
And I love that as you progress, it's like new achievement, and here's your reward, and he gets these boxes. Like, he gets a bronze pet box, a legendary pet box, a silver adventurer box. And then the last achievement that he gets is loner. You entered the dungeon without anyone else. Reward, none. Haha, you are so dead. It's just, that's mean. And then he starts trying to figure out how to work the menu, and he can't. He's like, menu. No? Okay. And he looks around.
Scotty talking into the mouse. Hello, computer.
Hello. Just use the keyboard. How quaint. And he was told by the message that he should find a tutorial guild. And he looks down the hall, and there's a big neon sign that says, "The Tutorial Guild."
I feel like that should have been a first clue. Duh. I'm just saying.
Right.
Yeah,
I would have fallen to that because everything about the achievements and everything else has been so unprofessional and so lulz that just having the tutorial guilds just be the tutorial guilds, I'd be like, oh yeah, that fits everything else. And then a goblin would have speared me.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure if I would have fallen for this. I can't decide. Because he goes down that way and then gets a new achievement for falling into an obvious trap. Reward, well, if there's a heaven and you haven't been too much of an asshole, maybe they'll let you in. Because you're about to meet your maker. And then he hears something coming and turns to run, and immediately his pink Crocs just go flying. Like, he was destined not to keep these very long.
Mm-hmm. It's better for his feet this way.
Yeah, it's probably easier
Possibly.
to run.
I would think, right? Even if with Crocs that fit, it might be easier to run barefoot.
Well, and just knowing how big guys' feet are generally, I mean,
Yeah, because
comparing,
they aren't his.
my son's 13-year-old feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's girlfriends, which, I mean, probably like 5 sizes too small for him. I don't know how he's walking in them to begin with.
He was probably walking on top of them like they were clogs.
And so
he just had the little loop on his feet.
Yeah, that's how I was
course
picturing
they
it.
flew
Yeah,
off.
it's like some sandals where only the loop is, the thing chasing him is a giant, it's like tractor-sized thing with tank treads, but it looks like it's cobbled together and might fall apart at any moment. And there's 3 goblins on it, one of whom is wearing a kitchen pot on his head. And he gets some tooltips. It's a goblin murder dozer, a contraption. There's 2 of the guys are level 2 goblins. What goblins lack in physical strength, they make up for in spunk. And then the level 3 goblin engineer, the incels of the goblin world. They have a hard time finding a date, which makes them extra angry. If there are females in your party, they will attack them first.
Which rude.
I wonder if the cat counts, because she's a female.
She's a cat, though. Oh, well, I guess they're goblins, so maybe.
Yeah, so who knows what they're into, quite honestly.
They don't discern.
Yeah.
The one advantage he discovers is that the murder dozer has it takes a long time to turn.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that he comes to another junction and he sees one path that is too thin for the murder dozer to go down. And he thinks about going that way, and then he goes, no, that's got to be another trap. That I would have fallen for. If that was honestly a trap, I would totally think like, how clever am I? I'm going to go down the place that it can't follow.
Exactly.
No one will ever know if it was a trap or not.
Nope.
Yeah, I really kind of want to know. Was there something down there? What would we have done?
The guy
Maybe
hasn't
that's where-
made great decisions yet. I'm not willing to give him one just yet that he did the right choice.
See, I just
Oh,
told him,
we
like,
found
you
the-
make bad decisions. So,
Yeah,
it was
if
probably the right way to go.
If anything, he found the one trap on that floor.
You're right.
And he's trying to play 3D chess where he's just like, there's other traps there. He's like, no, there's not. This is the trap. This is the only trap.
And it was extremely obvious.
It's the tutorial level. There's only one trap.
There's a tractor that's just like idling with goblins doing goblin noises. And he didn't see or hear any of that either.
I mean, we do know that in these first, like, not even an hour, probably 3 million people have died after entering the dungeon. So it must, I don't know if they're all falling to, like, goblins with murder dozers, or there's got to be some reason that we have, 3 out of 13 million? What's that? That's like not quite 30% casualties, but like 25?
Yeah, because I don't even think that I don't even think it's the culling of the dumb at that point. It's just the culling of, if you're not genre aware, you're going to not be I don't think the average person in humanity is going to be expecting to run into a goblin dozer in the bottom of a mysterious stairway. So I can imagine there were a lot of people that were taken off guard, because it's generally not a thing that you would run into in everyday life. So I'm going to give Carl that one where I'm just like, I wouldn't have expected that at all.
It would probably be easy to, when you saw a big contraption with goblins sitting on it coming towards you, just freeze and be like, what the fuck am I looking at?
And dead.
And get
And that's
killed
probably
that
what
way.
Yep.
And that's probably what killed a bunch of people. Yeah, that's what the 3 million fell to.
I think they were
That door
saber-toothed
again.
cats. People saw cats and they're like, I gotta pet it, and now they're dead.
All of them. All
That's
3
how
million.
you kill 3 million people.
These goblins are like going to tell me how I get where I need to go. So obviously, I'm just going to go chat with the goblins.
Let's be friends.
Yeah.
And there was obviously a couple of people who were like, I shouldn't be racist. I should approach these green men and maybe try to develop a rapport. And then they were turned into meat, and a stain on the floor.
I mean, the tooltip on the murder dozer does say that they're trying to slaughter unsuspecting dungeon crawlers. So
Exactly.
if you saw that, you should probably. But anyway, he gets far enough away to see and sign for the actual tutorial guild, and he tries to go in, and it's locked. He's banging on the door like, "Hey, somebody there, let me in." And there's dude cracks the door. There's like chains on it, like it's his front door, and it's a little rat guy who he says kind of looks like Master Splinter from the Ninja Turtles. And he's like, "You mobs ain't allowed in here, you know that." And then he's like, "Holy crap, you're a crawler?" By his left tit, which is an exclamation. That's an interesting one. We opened up and I didn't even notice. There used to be a newsletter, but that just stopped. Budget cuts, I guess. Like, he is not letting Carl in, as he has this whole like spiel where he's annoyed about the budget cuts.
It's the indie scene from Temple of Doom. We are going to die, frowny face.
It's like, welcome to corporate America.
Yep.
And he's trying to get him to open the door, and then the goblins arrive, and Mordecai is his name. He's just like, "Yeah, sorry, you took too long. I can't open it up if there's mobs outside." And Carl's like, "I took too long. What the?"
I'm sorry, you can't rest while enemies are nearby. You gotta go away.
So the goblins have sticks with pineapples on the end of them,
Which is a
And they
very
tr-
entertaining thought.
right? They're like, "What can I find that's pointy and will hurt somebody if I hit him?" I know, a pineapple. And they're not even
maybe
like,
maybe he interrupted dinner. Maybe that was them, roasting some pineapples.
roasted pineapple's good.
Oh.
But they're not even secured to the stick very well, because when they swing the stick at him, the pineapple falls off.
No one said they were smart. They're goblins.
He punches one of them, and his health bar goes like more than halfway down. And he's like, "I'm not that. I hit him pretty good, but not that well." And there's a little side note about how like he was in the Coast Guard, and people don't have much respect for the Coast Guard, but they don't realize how much like training we actually do, including hand-to-hand combat.
The funny thing, though, is that he describes punching it like hitting a 10-year-old. And I'm just like,
Yep.
Well, it's good to know that he's... If you need a 10-year-old beaten up, Carl's your guy. I think Carl might actually be an asshole.
He definitely is. That is the hill I'm going to die on now.
And while he's beating on this goblin, Donut just slips into the door, like through that crack. And Mordecai's over here like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "Hey, stop." And at first, Carl thinks he's telling him to stop hitting the goblin. He's like, "Who the fuck's side are you on?" Like, but no. It's like, "You can't come in here." He's trying to tell the cat. Clearly, you have not known any cats. Like, that's not going to help you.
No one tells a cat what to do.
And Carl's yelling to open the door, and Mordecai's like, "Get your creature out of here." He's like, "Well, you open the door." And the murder dozer is coming for him, and he gets inside the guild, the training guild, just in time. And this is a safe zone. We find out you have to be inside a safe zone to open your boxes, although he can't even see the boxes yet. And there's a little explanation of Mordecai's race. He's a rat hooligan, which is like a rat brute or a rat shaman, but better.
So I kept when I originally read Mordecai, I read Mortimer. So now in my head, I keep picturing him as Mickey Mouse.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
You know, I've been thinking about that. 3 million people that died or whatever the number is. I'm terrible with numbers. I think killing the goblin was kind of brutal. Bashing its head into the ground. I bet a lot of people couldn't do that. You punch a little guy and you're like, "All right, give up. And it's a dungeon monster. It's not going to give up.
Yeah.
Now you're stabbed, and it's eating you to regain health.
That's a good point.
Which then brings an interesting question. How many of those people are kids?
Ooh,
A fair
also a
bit.
good question. Yeah.
A fair
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
People went to the park
Yeah.
with their kid.
Yeah.
Baby counts. Baby, it's not a +1. It's not a pet.
Maybe
It counts as a person.
Yeah.
No. Anything that's underneath a certain amount of intelligence is not considered a crawler. They're considered a pet.
Oh, that's
I think.
true.
Yeah. A baby probably would be under the intelligence limit, yeah.
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 So the baby's a
It'd be
pet.
considered a pet.
Oh, that's kind of. I'm not gonna say worse, but that's pretty bad.
There's plenty of
you
parents
wanna
that
get-
treat their kids like pets.
You want to get bad? Okay, so like being in the dungeon heals you of all conditions slowly,
Mhm.
like you regen and everything.
Yep.
All right. Intelligence is how we're dealing with like who is allowed to be a person and counted as a player, right?
Yep.
Fetuses.
Oh my
Hmm.
god.
Fetuses don't have intelligence. I bet you the body just reabsorbs the fetus.
Oh,
Oh
that's
my god.
As
disturbing
part of the
possibility.
regeneration, because it's kind of a growth. It's kind of like a tumor. Tumors don't count as people. You would get rid of that too.
No, I can't imagine that the super advanced technology can't tell the difference between the two.
But would it care? They
Would
did
it care?
crush
That's a different question,
everybody who's not
Yeah.
who's inside.
Now
Yeah, it crush
I
lots
would
of babies.
wonder.
I'm just saying.
I wonder if it would be considered a pet, and because it's part of you, you can add its stat totals to your own total.
Your
Its
total
stat
goes up.
totals are 0. It's a
Well-
fetus.
Well, you never know. You never know if it can actually, because everybody in the party, remember, gets experience, which means at that point, you are technically a mech, a biological mech.
So
on.
I'm just gonna move right past that.
We can cut all of that, I guess.
So Carl says, "Are they going to be out there if I leave?" And he's like, "Well, one of them at least will be there. The other one will probably go get the entire rest of the goblin family, and they'll all be waiting for you." And he's like, "Ah, damn it. Okay, I got to go back out there and kill those guys now." And then he kind of does. Like,
He goes action hero, yeah.
yeah, they're not expecting him to come back out the door so quickly, and so they're not looking, and he climbs up the back of the murder dozer and throws one into the spinning blades and throws the other one off, and then like just jumps and lands on him, crushing him with his feet. Which, when he goes back into the training guild, it's like I felt like I had hamburger between my toes, and that's extremely disturbing, like imagery.
Yeah.
Also, there's the one point where the goblin says something and he doesn't understand him. He's like, "You're in my world. You need to speak my language, you weird green piece of shit." Which,
Internet.
Yeah.
It's internet as hell. Twitter wrote this.
And then the guy's like, "You're not even speaking your language. You're speaking Syndicate standards, you idiot slave." Which, take that, Carl.
Did he
And then
die?
the goblin, yeah, then he dies. And the goblin dozer explodes, and he barely gets inside in time. And Mordecai's like, "Oh yeah, they probably enchanted the boiler so that like when it exploded, all the energy would be directed at the nearest non-goblin." Oh damn, that's cold.
It is.
Yeah. I had to have a mechanic fix that in my car. It's expensive.
And I think he comes back and he's like, Mordecai's like, "Your creature crapped in my mother's ashes. This is so not worth it." Just defile his mother's ashes so quickly, and we zoom right past it.
Look, the cat's as much of an asshole as Carl is, and that's why they make such a good team.
And of course, Carl has many questions, and Mordecai's like, "Just slow down. We'll walk through it. Most of these questions that you have." Mordecai is an NPC, a non-combat NPC, but once upon a time, he was also a dungeon crawler. He made it all the way down to floor 11, and then he got out. He said, once you get to floor 10, they give you several options to exit the dungeon. The deeper that you go, the better the options.
I like how Mordecai is like the Proximo from Gladiator to Carl's really dumb Maximus, where he's like, "You need to get the crowd to love you. Win the crowd."
Mordecai used to be a sky fowl, like eagle guys. He shows a picture of his brother.
A bird person.
He became a changeling when he got to the third floor, and now every time his guild hall moves, they change him to another creature.
Now, see, this is an actual surprise to me because I didn't know anyone inside the dungeon like existed before the creation of the dungeon. I figured when they crushed everything down and they said that they were, like repurposing all of the stuff they crushed down to make the dungeon, all the organic material that was crushed was now becoming the goblins and ghouls and whatever that fill the dungeons. And then here's Mordecai just being like, "I've been at this for thousands of years." And I'm like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, that just raises further questions.
It does.
And now we're going to get attached to him because he told us that he's just a little bit away from retirement.
This is his last run. He's been here forever, but he's about to retire.
I got a girl back home too.
I hope that doesn't happen. Not because I love Mordecai, because I don't, but
I love
because
Mordecai.
it's so tropey if Mordecai dies on this last job.
Just one
I
last
wasn't
job,
supposed to
baby.
care. I cared now because of you, Carl.
My best friend.
Also, Carl asks a really good question that I would have had, but probably would not have been at the top of my list of asks, where he's like, so you guys are all aliens, right? Like, how come the game is talking about, like, incels and Jean-Claude Van Damme and shit? And Mordecai is like, yeah, look, we planned, it's like, this gets planned way ahead of time. I've been on your planet since, like, the 60s getting ready for this. They want it to all gel and make sense to the people stuck in here, which seems like going really out of your way for people you're going to kill. But what do I know?
It's like the scene from Transformers where they're like, "We have learned your customs through the world's wide web." And then it would have been terrible if Optimus is like, "Well, like where did you go on the internet?" He's like, "We have gone to your repository of information known as 4chan."
4chan, I knew that was coming. Yep.
Oh no!
Something awful. Optimus bends over, goat sees you. That's how you say hello, right? On your planet. Bumblebee just starts doing Rick Astley.
This we have been told that this Rick rolling is the standard greeting on your planet.
Of friends.
I mean, I'd be okay with that one, actually. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that's the one that actually got filmed. No one wants Peter Cullen in like a mocap suit doing a goatsy move.
No one wants this at all.
It's like a Darmok and Jalad fucking thing where he's just like, click on suspected link, open for Rick roll. I am not amused.
Risky click.
Our last chapter 4. These don't have titles, so it's easy. It's got the rat picture at the top, which I also like. It is very Splinter.
Yes.
The rat chapter.
There are 6 basic starter species the Syndicate uses to seed worlds, and humans are one of those. Presumably, since he was also a crawler, I guess the Skyfowl are another of those 6. I want to know the remaining ones.
Fish people?
Oh, fish people would be good, yeah.
The
Crab,
fish demon
Worms.
things?
They are in charge.
Just
Swarms. just swarms. It's fine.
I
That would make for a very
crab
interesting
people.
show, I don't feel like. The worm battles.
That's kind of the point. Yeah.
Also, he goes into for us the way that this interstellar civilization thing works with these planets, and it just seems like such a cheap, like, loophole bullshit thing where it's like, so basically they make, quote, first contact the second that the planet has civilization of any kind, but before there's any sort of industry. And then after that first contact, you have 50 years to contact the local hyperspace planning council or whatever to steal some more Hitchhiker's Guide stuff to say, hey, we are an independent planet and don't want to be destroyed for mining purposes. And he tells us, yeah, they visited you guys sometime around when they were building those pyramids. And then
I'm just imagining a pharaoh just scrolling through a terms of service page and it's being like, this is not, but this is all logistics. I'm just going to hit accept.
I just accept. Yeah, I don't need to read it.
And again, it's like, who is the one person answering for Earth? Is it the Pharaoh? Like,
maybe
they pick a random homeless guy and be like, you can't read, just sign here.
Yeah, if you don't do it within 50 years, then they're allowed to come and take your planet and mine it for whatever. Also, Mordecai has a great bit about he got to be a human on the surface one time, and he went to Blockbuster and stole a bunch of James Bond tapes.
Total millennial joke right there.
Yep.
Like you do.
Geriatric millennial. I'm just saying.
And he says that, they make money off of that mining stuff, but their real money comes from the game. There are quintillions of citizens obsessed with Dungeon Crawler World. And Carl's like, wait, so this is like a TV show, like Survivor? And he's like, oh yeah, I love that show. But it's kind of like Survivor, more like The Running Man, really, than Survivor. Which, that's not what you want to hear, quite honestly.
No.
And he thinks for a moment, like, I wonder if B is alive, like Beatrice, my ex. Probably not. She was probably in bed with her ex-boyfriend at 5 a.m. in the Bahamas when this all happened. So.
Which I feel like is an automatic yes, she's alive, and yes, we're
definitely.
gonna see her.
Right.
If not this book, next book. She's showing up.
Yeah, she's got to be here at some point.
It
She
does
wants
feel
her
like a
cat back.
Chekhov's gun thing, yeah. And so he takes him through his menus. There's a mini map. There's a chat function. He can look at his achievements and other various messages that he's got. He can look at his stats. He's got a strength of 6, an intelligence of 3, constitution 5, dexterity 5, charisma 4. And Mordecai's like, hey, most normal humans have between a 3 and a 5 on all the stats, so your 6 is actually really good for strength. Carl is annoyed that he's got an intelligence of 3. He's like, look, I got this friend who we came out of a bar and he pissed on a cop's bike while the cop was giving somebody else a ticket. That guy deserves an intelligence of 3, okay? Come on.
I don't know. That guy sounds pretty base to me.
And then he realizes,
you haven't proven to me that you are any better than that, to be honest.
he realizes,
Maybe he was making a statement, Carl.
Billy's dead. He was in jail when everything happened. Oh, Billy. And Mordecai explains the difference between intelligence and wisdom. Intelligence tells you the bike belongs to a police officer. Wisdom tells you not to urinate upon it.
Fair.
True.
That's a pretty good way to explain.
Yeah. And he says that we have a wisdom stat, you just can't see it because they discovered that changing your wisdom a lot changed your personality. And then he explains the social media portion of it. He's like, here's the most important section of the entire thing. Your views, your followers, how many people have favorited you, and how many patrons you have. And so he tells him, you want to get these people. Basically, the important one is the patrons, but you get patrons by getting more and more views and followers and stuff. Because when they patronize you, then they can show commercials or something. And so they only want to do it to people who have lots of views. And so he's like, you got to get out there and you need to stand out. You can't just kill the shambling acid impaler. You got to do it with style. Maybe come up with a catchphrase. And Carl's like, oh my gosh, the fuck. Really?
You got to work on your SEO and got to hack that algorithm, buddy.
And he's like, what the fuck is all... And Mordecai's like, hey, pay attention. The monsters aren't important. Well, they are, but this part is more important. And then he tells him about the different tiers of loot boxes: bronze, silver, gold, platinum, legendary, and celestial. And if you guys recall, Carl already got a legendary one, which is like the second highest one, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Carl's like, yeah, I know what the box is. You won't let me open them yet. And he's like, yeah, we're getting there. Just calm down. And I like the point where he explains this stuff about the patrons giving boxes and how good each box is. Does that make sense? Carl's like, none of this shit makes sense. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yes.
That's fair.
It's like, if I have a bunch of people watching me, maybe I'll get a loot box with toilet paper. And Mordecai's like, well, actually, toilet paper's complimentary. Last time Borant did this, they didn't have bathrooms, and crawlers were pissing and crapping all over the place. You lose viewers when you're shitting in the middle of a hallway. It's gross. Which, yeah, okay, fair.
Yes, I don't want to see that.
No.
They got demonetized.
No one can watch you in the bathroom. It's the upshot.
That's sold
definitely
on
another
a different
thing that's
planet.
going to come back.
That probably is. That they filmed that for a different audience. Yeah. He has a health bar, and your health refills based on your constitution. But you also have spells and potions and scrolls. He even gets a healing spell, just as part of the default. He only has his intelligence is 3, so he has 3 mana, and the healing spell takes 2 mana. And they recharge by 1 point per hour, I think he says. So it's not a fast process.
It would have been really funny because he forces Carl to use it right there, the healing spell. It actually would have been funny if Carl just used it just because he could. And Mordecai was like, well, it's not really going to do much right now because you're fully...
No,
so, yeah.
That's going to be an hour before you can cast that again. Good luck.
Yeah, good job, asshole.
And I like some of the skills mentioned. Like, he has a breathing skill of 3 and a walking skill of 4. And an operating a Sony brand RMVLZ 620 universal remote control skill of 1. Which I just love that they call that out to be like, yeah, he sucked at that universal remote.
Which I do too, so I'm with him on the universal remote skills. Not my thing.
Yeah, Yeah, I probably have a one or two in breathing. Like I'll accidentally inhale some of my spit sometimes and choke myself. So yeah, he's probably doing better than me. So
The universal remote thing reminds me of Wasteland, the RPG.
toaster repair.
Toaster repair. That is
Yeah.
a skill that is absolutely useless in
I
the
thought you were going to say
first
absolutely
Wasteland.
essential. That would have been great.
Nope. Completely
Yeah, you
useless
really
in the
need to know how to
first
do
one.
it.
If you can't
But you
repair a
can put
toaster, you're
points in.
screwed. I also
It was
like
just
to
a
note
trap stat.
Mordecai recommends he train with some dungeon weaponry because he didn't bring any weaponry. And he's like, "Oh, and you'll train me how to use those?" And he goes, "Nope, not my job." And then we get a big speaker announcement where a female voice welcomes them. We had just under 13 million make it through the gates, and we're already down to under 10 million. I wish you all good luck and a happy crawl. And I want to thank you all for volunteering. It's just so cheery and so just completely at odds with what's going on.
Good job, everybody. You're probably gonna die.
He has 5 days to find a stairwell down to level 2, and 3 million people have already died. So yeah.
If all the viscera and violence that we've seen so far is any indication, we're gonna see some people die in comically awful ways, and I am so down for it. This is gonna be so much fun and awful.
Let's see. What else? Anything else important come up? We talk a little bit about the corporations who run the seasons, and they do a season every like 2.5 years, he said, or 2.25 years. And the last one was the Squim conglomerate did a battle royale style, where I guess at least that guarantees one guy wins, as opposed to this one where nobody ever wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which really, I feel like you have to think about for a minute. It's like 13 million people went in this door where they're like, hey, if you make it to level 18, you win, you get the planet back. Basically, as far as the people running this are concerned and all the people watching, all 13 million of those people are going to die because no one ever wins. Kind of depressing.
But they draw the line at peeing in the corner.
No, yeah, that's not cool. Don't do that.
You cannot mark your territory.
No, that's bad television.
It kind of reminds me of when Who Wants to Be a Millionaire first went on the air, and how for the first season, like it was like this kind of like running thing where the thing that got you to watch was who's gonna win that first million, who's gonna do it, and like that's like the hook for this particular show, where like this is the show where no one wins, but there's always a chance.
Show gets canceled when Carl wins because no one cares now.
No, yeah, they're like, okay, we're done, right?
Oh, somebody won the dungeons.
Or it's like one of those like scam game shows from like back in the 50s where like no one was actually supposed to win. It's not designed for you to win. Delete all the footage. Burn the tapes.
But that is where we actually end the chapter with Mordecai explaining. It's like, I told you I made it down to the 11th floor and I left because I knew I couldn't make it to the 12th. Only a handful of crawlers in all the centuries have ever made it that far. One time made it to level 13 and died within half an hour of getting there. He was also human, but that is the deepest anyone has ever gotten, is 13. And that on that positive note, we finish our section.
Humans being
13.
the best class confirmed.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
pretty much, right?
You can respec at level 3, so he chose to be human. He probably didn't start human. He was like, nah, human. They're the ones that win fantasy games.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to move into the predictions segment. We have the basics of it. We don't have all that much specific detail to make predictions at this point. But every week we will go into what do you guys think is going to happen next. It can be specific, like I think that cat's going to start talking, which some people already did, or it can be general, long-term, short-term, whatever you guys want to predict. Let's just see how good a job you can do. And I have to decide if I'm going to try to monitor your predictions and track who gets more right or something.
All right. Now we're the competition.
Yeah, you're the game show.
Okay.
That's monkey.
All right. We have been chosen to participate. Will we go down that mysterious staircase?
Then I'm gonna do because it's too early to make like concrete stuff other than like just general, like, you know, the girlfriend is still alive, they're gonna meet at some point. That's general. Who cares about that? I'm gonna do stupid, bigger, dumber things. And in fact, here's one that we're not gonna know about maybe ever. I mean, the audience might. They've probably read the books. There's just one species just one. Since they can respec into whatever species you want at level 3, every species that has ever existed in the universe is just one species. Maybe it's human, maybe it's a slug, I don't know. And that's why everyone is able to interface with everything. Forerunner, blah blah blah. You know, you guys are tropey. That's my thought, is that everyone is one species spread across worlds, and that's my guess.
Okay, if you had to assign a name to this one species, I want to know now. Like, what would it be?
Schmergulans.
Wow, nice. Okay.
Smurgulins. All right, everybody playing at home. If Smurgulins are on your bingo card.
To be boring, they're the changelings.
Oh, I mean that would kind of fit, I guess. They can
Yeah.
change into other things, sure.
Yeah, and it's
I
just
mean,
like since there's already communication with people's brains, and it seems to be. I think he said at one point it's intuitive and everything because he's designed to interface with everything. Then you're just designed to be the one shape that you are assigned on your planet, but you could have shape shifted at any time if you had that ability turned on in your head.
Okay.
That's a little bit more boring and more specific. You're the changeling.
That tracks because Mordecai did respec as a changeling, so
Yeah.
that makes sense. That I could see where your thought process is there.
I'm curious about one thing that I want to get from each of you here at the beginning. You're holding the book in your hand. We're now about 10% of the way through. My Kindle says 12% of the way through the book already.
Mm-hmm.
How many floors do you think this book will cover? Just the first one? Just half of the first one? 1 through 3? Like, what do you think?
I didn't know how long this series was until I think you said there were 7 books.
There are 7 currently released books.
Currently released, that changes the
8th one is
arithmetic a
supposed
bit.
to come out before long.
All right, that changes the arithmetic entirely. We're only gonna get 2 floor 2. We're like he's stepping through. I think this whole book is floor 1.
Okay.
I think the first 3, because he indicates how it gets longer and longer and longer for each floor. So I feel like you need more books to cover some more of those levels later. So I don't know. I'm gonna go 3.
Okay. Good logic there.
I'm gonna go sideways on that, and I'm gonna say that the nature of the game will change towards the end of the book, and that will lead into the next one. And it doesn't matter how many levels we get through.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Just try to flip things on its head. Interesting.
Well, we'll get a little twist at the end,
What floor are they supposed to get recorded on? It's floor 2, right?
Yeah, he says that they start
Is it floor
recording
2
next week.
Yeah.
On floor 2
All
is when.
right.
Well, I'm sorry.
So
On floor 2 is when
floor
people
2.
can watch live. They're going to record
Yeah.
them now and like cut a highlights reel out of it. But
Yeah, just a sizzle reel is what they're going through now, with like sound effects as people get eviscerated, like boom, dumbass.
probably, yeah.
Yeah,
America's Funniest Home Dismemberments. Yeah.
yeah.
Carl will be watching it, and he thinks that it's going to be him taking out the murder dozer, and it's going to be is just him getting bit by the cat. It's like, this idiot doesn't know how to take care of his animal. And he's like, this play showed.
You see, now I know I'm wrong about this being 1 floor because you have to at least get through 2 for recording. You need to have like an audience in the first book.
He needs some fans.
Yeah, I think that needs to be introduced in your first book.
Yeah, we need to bring in the Mojo World aspect.
So you see, I'm already wrong.
Okay. Any other predictions, Tim, before we go into Jennifer?
No. We're still early on. It's hard to make a prediction unless it's like he will get a scimitar.
Oh yeah, that's something else I was curious about. Like, we have no idea what Carl can use right now. What kind of weapon do you think he would specialize in? Knowing Carl, let's do that too.
Knowing Carl, and
as
knowing
little as we know, yeah,
and knowing how like referential this is and very millennial it is, and it was written 5 years ago. I don't know, a Power Fist, a Nintendo Power Glove.
Oh, I would love that actually.
Oh,
I'm on board with this idea.
Because we know he already has some hand-to-hand stuff. So an unarmed like thing, boxing gloves if you're being like more realistic, I guess, but that would suck too. It'd help your hand though, but yeah, I think something like a power fist.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, well, like maybe you get people supporting you by using these completely random things like the pot, and maybe like a frozen fish. I don't know. I just want to see weird, kooky stuff.
Okay, just found weapons, whatever weird shit he finds lying around. I like this. All right.
I mean, it would be entertaining, right? You got to get the viewers.
Yeah.
You know, you don't actually have to get the viewers. You just have to get the guy who had the viewers, and now
That's
you have his
true.
gear.
Also true.
Interesting
Just go
thought.
that.
Yep.
I would imagine that pets might actually be immortal down here because in most RPG like MMOs, especially because they tend to be immortal, but they also tend to have skills and attacks. It'd be hilarious if Donut becomes a weapon of some sort or a way for him to attack.
Oh,
I don't-
sick him.
I don't see that. I also don't see the cat talking, so I'm going to hard say the cat doesn't talk. While you guys are both pro cat talking, I don't think the cat's
on
ever
Team
going to
Cat.
talk.
I'm Team Donut right now. Let's do this.
Yep. I'm with
I
him.
do think the cat's going to win the game.
The cat is the one who gets to the 18th
Yeah,
floor. somehow,
that is so obvious to me at this
just
point.
by not
that
giving
the
a
cat
shit
wins.
the whole time.
Uh-huh. Carl will do all the fighting and he'll lose. He'll Ash catch him right at the end, and Pikachu goes on and wins.
If Pikachu dies, no, Ash dies, and he's like, Pikachu, win the tournament without me.
It's easier now.
Now
Okay,
there's
Jennifer,
nothing to hold Pikachu back. It was Ash that was keeping
predictions?
Pikachu from killing people.
What predictions, Jennifer, do you have overall here?
I don't know. I was gonna say maybe we're all in the Matrix, but I think feels like a little bit like what we just talked about. So, let's see. I mean, obviously, Donut's gonna talk. We gotta go that route. But, I mean, she's amazing. It's gonna happen. I feel like Mortimer's gonna like somehow be super helpful as we go through these later levels because, I mean, I'm gonna call him that. We'll see what happens. I shouldn't call him that. Mordecai. We'll call him the right name. But I feel like he's going to have a bigger part in it than just, I don't know, maybe because I like him. I think he's pretty cool. So I want to see more of him, whether they just be in this tutorial stage where we never get to see him again. That would be kind of sad because I kind of like the little, I don't know, picturing him as Shredder walking around, mentoring.
You mean Splinter? Shredder's the other guy.
That's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. Too many words today. I don't know. But definitely going to get some weapons. He keeps talking about magic. Like, Mordecai, he kept being like, nobody ever chooses magic. Like, he keeps saying that. Like, he said that multiple times. So now I'm like, I think he's going to have to pick magic at some point because there just kept being this talk of nobody ever chooses this. So,
I don't know that he said
I'm gonna throw
nobody
that
ever
out there.
chooses it. He said that, like,
It-
the intelligence
Yeah,
stat was only
intelligence.
relevant if you
Yeah.
chose magic. So Carl
Yeah,
probably shouldn't
it's
choose
so-
that. But
he
Yeah,
probably
he's a
shouldn't, which is
warrior.
maybe why he will. He definitely has the strength. Let's throw that. But I feel like he
Yeah.
doesn't make the wise decision, as we've kind of proven. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he's going to go rogue on us.
On the
Okay.
respec on floor 3, do you get to redo your stats?
Oh, that's a good
he
question.
They've not
actually
been
said that-
revealed yet.
I think he said you cannot assign your stat points. Like, you get points for leveling up, but you cannot assign them until floor 3.
Okay.
When you gain levels, though, you
then we
get
can move 'em.
attribute points that you
Okay.
can spend.
You can make yourself smarter.
Yeah, he can just dump it into intelligence.
True.
It's not impossible he goes mage. You're not wrong.
Okay, Mike, I think that's you then.
All right. My prediction is, of course, because I'm a Team Donut. Everyone at home # Team Donut. I think that Donut is going to be kind of like a peanut gallery kind of character, where he's just going to have her, hanging out with him. They're going to be chatting because he's definitely going to need a character that he can talk to and interact with. Because after he leaves Mordecai, like he is going to be on his own. And I don't know if he's going to be picking up anybody or anything like that. So he's definitely going to have a character that he needs to like kind of play off of and have a dynamic with. And what would be really funny is that over the course of this thing, we start forming the traditional D&D party. But anytime that it feels like, hey, we got this guy, yeah, everything's going great, and then they just die horribly. and he just keeps running into people, and they just keep dying horribly as he meets them. And it's just going to be him and Donut just reacting to, well, he was nice for a while. Anyway, gotta run. And it's just going to be the hijinks of them witnessing the horror that it is to be in this game. And I'm all about it because I love like more of like the journey kind of stories where you're just following these characters as they go through this world. They're not necessarily characters of consequence until maybe like towards the end. But I would just love to just see them just witness this is awful. This whole situation.
So your prediction is just he finds people and they die.
Yes.
I think you're correct.
I mean, fair. Yeah, that's got to happen, right?
Well, that was the thing, is that it could have very well been that if and when Donut starts talking, all they run into are monsters, and he actually doesn't ever run into like any people, and it's actually a rare occurrence. To me, it would be hilarious if like it's just a constant revolving door of people that show up and die in horrible ways. Like, it was entirely possible to me that he just never ran into another player character, and it was just all just monsters.
Jumping on that, I will make a prediction then that someone will actually become a monster to hide, and it'll be like a prop hunt.
Oh.
Prop hunt, okay.
So now you're starting to bring in like genre video game information to the I like that.
The whole thing is World of Warcraft. It's not even Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm not sure how to. Okay. Yeah.
We know that there's a party system built into this thing. We don't know if you can create a new party after you've entered, so.
Yeah, if you can't party up, then he's kind of stuck with a cat.
Yeah, and he's just by himself, which is why I think there'll definitely be other people. But I don't know, I just don't know if it was going to be like, because it could be that they're actually a danger as well. I don't know what the rules are. Like, is there PvP? Maybe.
Oh, yeah, we don't know. That's a good point.
And can we build a bigger party? Can we find more friends and power in numbers, at least until you get to the higher levels? Because we do have a party indicated with Donut.
What do you do if you enter the dungeon? Are you looking to party up with people, or are you looking to like kill other crawlers and steal their stuff, or both? I guess
you have to start a party to begin with, because I mean, you already know that nobody's made it past 13, right? Yep. So if you take off these first few levels, at least with a party, you've got a better chance of making it that far. And at some point in time, you're obviously going to have to, separate from a party because there's only so many people that can go forward. But
And then the lesson is maybe the real friends were the monsters we became along the way.
True. I mean, that's how it works.
Yeah. Because they're going to come to a point where it's all Highlander, and it's like, they're going to be only one, bitch.
Can there? I don't know that it established that in the
Battle
Royale.
Only 2 are going down to the final level because it halves the amount of people for each level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It has the amount of stairways on each level. That doesn't mean that only one person can go down a stairway.
Okay.
Okay, interesting. I think I assumed that the other way too.
Right, because this was not the Battle Royale planet. That was a different. Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, all right. That's interesting. Because I don't know if making a party is the way to go, or
it's
if
definitely
that's
the way to
happen.
go. It's definitely the way to go.
Yeah, you're gonna balance your weaknesses.
Yeah,
you need to get a healer in there and like a ranged DPS, and
There's going to be a floor that is just a boss fight. You can't do a raid, World of Warcraft style, by yourself.
Yep.
That could be the ending of the book, is that the ending is the boss fight.
Floor 3 is the boss fight. And then after that, you can restat and finally blah blah blah.
Right. Yeah. Because at the end of the book, that would be the play for like when you're doing D&D sessions. It's like, all right, this is the one where you all get to level up and do your stuff.
Huh.
Okay.
Actually,
interesting.
We're assuming this guy, that the writer is a millennial. Or at least I'm assuming he's a millennial.
I'm assuming.
That means he was alive when arcades existed. Maybe each floor has a boss, and you have to defeat the boss to open up the next level.
Why, for a second, I thought you were going to be like, so obviously he saw 9/11, like the rest of us
He
did.
He did. That's why
Yeah.
that's why the buildings collapsed in the opening.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
This
That
whole
does make sense.
book is about 9/11 and living with the tragedy of it.
It's an allegory, and now we're all living in this murder world that we all have to deal. You're right. Yeah.
Look, I'm
Matt
just saying,
Dinniman did 9/11.
before 9/11, there were no reality TV shows. Don't fact check
You're
that.
true.
That's true.
Nobody looked that up, but yeah, there you go.
Before 9/11, there were also no goblins.
Fact.
Fact. Don't look that up. Don't fact check that.
That's
Fact.
That's the recurring gag. It's just everything is fact. Don't look it up.
Don't look at
Fact.
There is no fact checking this podcast.
I'm still trying to figure out how old this dude is, and I can't find it. I did see other books by him include Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon, which is a cool title, but
This man is 40.
I mean, when I looked, I looked at the pictures, the actual pictures of him, not the weird, creepy AI thing that popped up, and he looks like he could easily be here. Here's the picture of him. It looks like he was on a podcast or something, because I'm not sure who that woman is in this picture, but you can see one of the first things that came up on Google. Let me get back into our chat. He's got some gray definitely happening. So
Yeah, he's 40. This is a millennial.
Like 40s. Okay, I think we're gonna wrap it there. I will let everyone know that for the next episode we do, at the moment, the plan is that this will be a bi-weekly, that is every other week show. Not bi-weekly means 2 times a week, but also every other week. I mean it in the second sense. So come back in a couple of weeks, and we will be doing 6 chapters. That is 5 through 10 for the next one.
Cool,
If you want to read along, check that out, folks.
Hey, Tim.
What's up?
Did you know that Jesus was not actually born on Christmas? December 25th. You know when he was born? 9/11.
Oh.
Fact.
Okay.
Fact. Don't look that up.
If you'd like to
No fact checking.
communicate, you can leave us some comments. This should be up on YouTube, but also various other. Not YouTube's not the primary. This should be up on various podcast platforms. Spotify, Podbean is where it's hosted, but I'm also probably going to have it transfer over to YouTube
Usenet.
automatically.
MySpace.
If you'd like to send us emails directly, the email address is dgmj. Don't gaslight me, Jesus. dgmj @mail.com. So you can send us an email. We'll check it out. Maybe read it on air if it's interesting. So feel free to do that. Complain about all the things that we got wrong and how Jennifer is an apostate for not liking the audiobook. Just whatever,
Sorry.
Feedback, suggestions, hate. I'll take it all. I don't mind. So yeah, that's dgmj@mail.com if you want to send an email. Otherwise, watch out for us in 2 more weeks. Thank you all. Remember, 6 chapters for next time, and we will leave you with our pick of Mordecai advice for the week. Be careful what you say, or your experience may be accelerated. Good luck out there, crawlers.
Hi, this episode is brought to you by Lootbox. You might ask me, Mike, what's a loot? Isn't that just a bisexual acoustic guitar? And I say, that's offensive. So, Lootbox is a subscription service where we just send you really esoteric medieval instruments. And so subscribe. We're running out of money. Please subscribe. Lootbox.